on here, shoreline fishing, and my wife actually found this book. It's a very important book for avid fishermen. Now this is obviously for our area, but it tells you all the fishing. Oh, there's my kitty. It tells us all the fishing regulations, like the seasons and all that kind of stuff, which is very important. But something that got me wanting to do this video is Lucky Strike added a fish guide. Now, this fish guide shows you, and these are just the trophy fish, but what they look like and a small description of them and what Lucky Strike would recommend. Now, northern pike and bass are on this, and I have to say, I was right. So I'm just going to read it off, and this is coming straight from the book. So I'm going to start off, obviously, with the first one, and I'm just going to read through. And I'll tell you if I've caught them, if I remember catching it while doing this video, like these videos, or what. But we're going to start with smallmouth bass, and I will show the picture while I'm talking and editing. And smallmouth bass, anyway, commonly referred to as smallies, bronzebacks. The smallmouth bass are a thrill to catch because of the fierce fighting qualities. We all know that. Main diet: crayfish, frogs, insects, fish eggs. Very simple. Now, what Lucky Strike recommends is crankbaits, worm harnesses, and spinnerbaits. That kind of covers pretty much everything you would think of using. So, but they do have a secret weapon that they recommend. Of course, all these will be Lucky Strike recommendations. It is a brand, but they recommend Yellow Perch Live Series, which is just a perch swim bait. I've got a few of those. I got at least one of those. So let's move on. Walleye. Walleye are one of the best tasting catches in Ontario. They get the name from the large glossy eyes, which are very sensitive to sunlight. Dusk and dawn are ideal times catching these favorites. So morning and right around supper time. Main diet: a wide variety of other fishes, especially perch. So what I would have recommended, oh, by the way, smallmouth I have caught. I know I've caught smallmouths on video with you guys, but I've caught lots of smallmouth in the past. Walleye, I've caught a few, but I've never caught one on the while doing shoreline fishing. Anyway, lead-free jigs with grub tail or minnow and spinners. And they recommend June bug spinner. So basically any wiggly tail or curly tail jig, or if it happens to be a minnow jig. That's what all they're saying. Lake trout, I've never caught a lake trout. I've never been in deep enough water to catch lake trout. Lake trout found in deep waters where they can retreat to cooler depths in the summer. Temperatures around 10 degrees Celsius, 50 degrees Fahrenheit are preferred by this price catch. Main diet are insects, possum shrimp, which I have no idea what a possum shrimp looks like. If I can find one, I'll show a picture of a possum shrimp. And herring, and smaller trout. They recommend trolling spoons with a wide range of colors. Warden Worry is what they recommend. Now, muskie, I've never caught a muskie on this channel, but I have caught many muskies in my life. In Ontario, favorite to the muskies, fierce darting attack, and because of the large size, the Canadian angling record from Blackstone Harbour to Georgian Bay, Ontario, which is where I actually fish, is 29.89 kilograms or 64.99 pounds. Main diet is other fish, frogs, small mammals, and waterfowl, so like ducks. Now they recommend large plugs, bucktail spinners, spoons, and spinner baits. Their secret weapon is an old wooden muskie plug. You see, if you want to go for muskie, you need big. They go for big. Now here's northern pike. Northern pike, as you know, I've caught tons of northern pike on this channel, but I was correct in what I recommend in northern pike. Now they're not going to say Red Devil, because Red Devil is a brand, but I was correct. And I'm running out of time, so I'm going to speed it up a bit. Pike are solitary and found in lakes and rivers where waters are still in slow currents. Females grow larger, faster, and live longer than males. Lifespan is 26 years. Main diet. Over 90% of diet for adult pike are other fish, mainly yellow perch and shiners. Frogs, crayfish, mice, muskrats, and ducklings provide meals as well. Now their recommendation is trolling spoons and plugs of red and white color recommended are most effective. Secret weapon spoon is what is actually called secret weapon spoon is what they recommend. But red and white color trolling spoon is literally what a Red Devil is. Snook salmon is something I've never caught. Again, I just haven't been in an area where they have snook salmon. Snook salmon have been stocked in Great Lakes region, which has enhanced the sport fishing and tourism industries of Ontario. More commonly known as king salmon, these fish species are sought after by anglers because of their fierce fighting power and size. Main diet is freshwater herring, smelt, crustaceans, and insects. Recommended lure: flitter spoons or down rigs, and 0.75 to 1.3 ounce spoons or flatlings. Silver combinations and glow-in-the-dark colors are popular. See, I'm not a salmon fisherman, so you salmon fishermen will understand that terminology a lot better than what I would. Largemouth bass, what they recommend is what I would recommend. I've caught lots of largemouth bass, as you know, on this channel, but their secret weapon confuses me, and I'll tell you why when I get to it. Most popular in southern Ontario, which is where we live, largemouth bass can be found in calm, shallow areas, lakes, and large river bays. Unlike its cousins, the smallmouth bass favors heavy aquatic vegetation and submerged logs. See, smallmouth bass like rock and wide open areas, where largemouth bass like being in reeds, by vegetation, basically, logs and stuff like that. Main diet: variety of fishes, insects, leeches, crayfish, frogs, and mice. Now, recommended lures is small plastic worms. You see, this is a lure company that does this, so they're not going to tell you go live. But my recommendation would be live worms. That's why I call all my bass, except for I think one, maybe two on this channel. And those 1, 2 would have been on MEPS 3s. Anyway, small plastic worms and frogs, surface baits, crankbaits, and jigs. But the main recommendation is Margot Mallard. This is why it confuses me. Largemouth bass do not eat fowl. So I'm not 100% sure why they would recommend a... I'll even show you. That is what they recommend. I'm not sure why, because they don't eat birds. So anyway, I'm looking at the time. I'm running really short on time. So I'll go right to the last one, Brook Trout. Other common names for this fish are speckled trout, square tail, and brookie. I call them brook trout, brookies. Specks can be found in central and northern Ontario streams and lakes, usually less than 20 degrees Celsius waters. The favorite spots are shaded areas like under fallen trees, underneath banks, and behind rocks. See, I think I've caught brook trout. I can't remember. I don't fish for trout, so there's a good possibility that I've never caught brook trout. I think I would remember. But again, I don't fish for trout, so main diet includes food. I was just saying what I was saying and then reading it. Food includes aquatic insects, so like water bugs and stuff like that. Various fish, including their own young, frogs, salamanders, and mice. Mice kind of surprised me because I've never thought of brook trout as being big. I guess brook trouts are bigger than I thought. Not sure what I would be thinking of if it's not brook trout that I was thinking of. But anyway, I never thought of brook trout eating mice. The recommended lures is spinners, spoons, plugs, jigs, wet and dry flies. See, here's my cubby. I've never went fly fishing. I would like to try fly fishing, but I just don't want to spend the money to get the equipment and find out that I can't do it. Now, their main recommendation is Victor spoon and spinner, which is just basically a spinner bait. No big deal. So, I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was informational. I hope you got information off of it. And I say goodbye. Cubby says goodbye. Like, share, subscribe. Say bye. Say bye. Like, share, and subscribe. And till next time, keep on fishing.